What small insecurity used to run your life until something made you see it for what it was? I grew up thinking that if I was quiet enough, no one would notice the parts of me that felt broken. I believed silence was safety. I thought if I kept my opinions small and my laughter softer, people would like me and I would stop being the kid who stuck out. That felt true for a long time. It kept things calm on the surface, but it didn't fix the way I shook inside. In high school, I learned to let other people set the temperature in every room. I would agree with plans I hated. I would sit on the edge of conversations and watch the world move without me. If someone asked me to speak up, I would laugh it off and say I was shy. I liked the story that I could hide. It made me feel clever for surviving. And there was the night that changed the story. It was a small thing in a way. A coworker of mine, someone I had stayed late with for months, asked me to join a small group after work. I said yes even though my chest felt like sand. At the bar I kept my shoulders tight. I kept my jokes short. I smiled in the pockets when others laughed. After an hour someone said something about names and childhood nicknames. Everyone laughed at their stories. When it got to me, I heard myself say nothing. My voice had left. There was an awkward pause. Laughter drifted away. I saw the look on one person's face like they were trying to be kind. I left early. On the walk home my heart was loud. I kept turning the scene over in my head. Why couldn't I say one stupid story? Why did I feel invisible inside my own skin? I started keeping a list of moments like that. Small things. A missed hand on a crowded train. A friend who didn't text back. A teacher who called me quiet and meant it as a compliment. They stacked into a pattern. The pattern told me a rule. If you do not make noise, you will not be hurt. The rule kept me safe. It also kept me small. Then the conflict got louder. Years later, I was in a relationship that lasted 3 times longer than I expected. At first, it felt like proof I was fine. He liked me. He sat with me. But over time, I noticed I was shrinking slowly to fit him. I let jokes slide. I pretended not to mind where he stood in front of me. When he said things that hurt, I would swallow them until the hurt tasted like nothing. One night he said, without meaning to, that he loved the way my silence made things easier. I felt like someone had named my place in the world. It felt like a victory and a sentence at the same time. The real break came when he left. He didn't scream. He didn't make a scene. He left like a bookmark. I faced the quiet I had curated. It hit me like cold. Without the excuse of making someone else comfortable, I had to notice the cost. I had trained myself to disappear. The world did not notice. I did not notice myself. I started small repairs. I went to therapy and I hated the first session because it felt like putting a sore tooth in the light. It hurt, but I kept going. I began to practice saying one true thing a day. To a barista, to a friend, to my mirror. At first my voice sounded unfamiliar. It trembled. People reacted in ways I was not used to. Some were surprised. One person thanked me. Another rolled their eyes. That was okay. The important part was that my voice came back. The biggest lesson was not that people would always be kind. They will not. The lesson was that my quiet was not virtue and it was not armor. It was a habit born of fear. When I stopped treating it like a badge, I noticed the parts of me that were still brave. I noticed small wins. I told a friend I hated a movie and we argued about it for an hour and then laughed. I raised my hand at a meeting and my idea helped. A stranger told me my laugh was nice and I believed them for a moment. I still get scared. I still go quiet sometimes when it feels safer. But now I know hiding does not make me steady. It just makes me small. I'm learning to speak in pieces. To show up in ways that scare me. Some days it is a whole paragraph. Some days it is a single word. The quiet is still there like an old coat. I can put it on. I can also take it off. That choice feels like a kind of freedom I never expected, and it is the softest, saddest, hopeful thing I have learned about myself. If you like this video, then follow us for more.